Stream to start, folks, and then we'll start the meeting. Okay, thank you. I would like to call this meeting to order. Welcome to the official oath of office ceremony for the 2024 East Hants Municipal Council. My name is Kim Ramsey. I'm the CAO and clerk for the municipality, and I will be chairing the meeting until we elect a new warden, until council elects a new warden later in the program. I'd like to begin by acknowledging that we are in Mi'kma'ki in the district of Sipekne'katik, the ancestral and unceded territory of the Mi'kmaq people. East Hants further acknowledges that the 50 African Nova Scotian communities whose 400-year history have contributed to the province's culture, history, and legacies. We are all treaty people. Next, I'd like to call for a moment of silent contemplation. Thank you. So this evening, we have an agenda for the meeting. We will be going through, as returning officer, I will be issuing the declaration of the results of the election, and then we will, all of the councillors elect in the room will take their oath to the oath of allegiance to the office of councillor. We will then have each of the councillors sign their code of conduct that they have been issued and is on their desk. And then we will get into the election of the presiding officers for the next 4 years for the position of warden and for the next 1 year for the position of deputy warden. When we get to that stage of the evening, I'll outline for you the process of how that unfolds, and we'll go from there. So first of all, I would like to share with you the declaration of election results for the 2024 council. So the list of councillors elected by district, by acclamation, District 1, Enfield Centre, Sandra Garden Cole. District 2, by acclamation, Elmsdale, Norval Mitchell. District 3, we had an election in District 3. Wendy Matheson Withrow had 339 votes. Eldon Hebb had 430 votes. That's 9 Mile River, Balnan. District 4, Carl McPhee, Shubenacadie, Indianbrook was acclaimed. District 5, Maitland Knoll Shore, we had an election. Angela Sanford received 449 votes. Keith Rhino received 645 votes. District 6, North Lance Milford, Craig Merriam was acclaimed. District 7, South Lance, Walter Tingley was acclaimed. District 8, Mount Uniacke, South Rawdon, Michael Perry was acclaimed. District 9, South Uniacke, Eli Musa was acclaimed. District 10, Enfield Grand Lake, we had an election. Tom Eisner received 150 votes. Cecil Dixon received 450 votes. And John Douglas Boyd received 48 votes. District 11, Rawdon Kennecook, we had an election. Greg Grant received 391 votes, and Eleanor Rolston received 463 votes. And the CSAP, Conseil Scolaire Acadien Provincial results, Jessica Hinton was acclaimed in our district. So congratulations to all of those who ran in the election and to those of you here tonight who were successful or acclaimed. So councillors, I'd like for you now to all stand. You have your oath of office in front of you. You can either affirm or swear your oath of office. So together we're going to, you folks are going to take your oath, and then once you're done that, we will have you sign the paper, and Shirley will go around and pick them up from you. So I. Always. Next on the agenda, councillors, is the signing of the elected officials' code of conduct. You received your code of conduct when you ran for election, and a copy is in front of you on your desk. This code of conduct is important as it guides the way that you carry yourselves as councillors. I should note that the province has recently put out a new code of conduct for elected officials. So in November, you will see that new code of conduct come to council, and we'll have to redo the signing of the code of conduct once council accepts the model code that the province has put forward, that some of you have probably heard about in the news, and all of you were informed when you ran for election and received a copy of that code when you ran for election. We have 90 days to make that our official code of conduct or some version thereof. So we'll just wait until everybody has signed the code. We good, Shirley? Okay. So councillors, next order on the agenda is the election of your presiding officers. Tonight we will elect a warden. You will elect a warden for a 4-year term. There is a process that's attached to your agenda that's outlined in the council procedural policy. We'll follow that process as we go through a nomination process. We will close those nominations by motion. We will have council appoint some scrutineers, which will be Shirley and Jessica, if that's who you choose to appoint. And then we will have some time for nominations. Each person nominated for warden will have some time to speak, and then we will go through the voting process. So at this point in time, I would like to call for nominations for the position of warden. Councillor Norval Mitchell.
Thank you, Chair. I nominate Councillor Eleanor Rolston for the warden's position.
Do you have a seconder? Sandra? Okay. Councillor Rolston, do you accept the nomination? Okay. Councillor Dixon.
Yes, I'd like to nominate Walter Tingley for the position of warden.
Do we have a seconder?
I'll second.
Eldon? do you accept the nomination? And Councillor Musa.
I nominate Councillor Michael Perry for position of warden.
Okay, Michael Perry has been nominated. Is there a seconder? Eldon? Councillor Perry, do you accept the nomination? Okay. Are there any other nominations for the position of warden? I would be looking for a motion to close the nominations. Motion's been moved and seconded. We'll go to the vote. You're voting to close the nominations. Sorry. Okay, all those votes are in and the motion is passed unanimously. I would now like a motion to appoint Shirley and Jessica as the scrutineers for the vote for warden and deputy warden. Okay, seconded by Councillor Dixon. And we're going to go to the vote. And that vote is passed unanimously. So if you just give us a moment, we'll go through and hand out our ballots for the position of warden. We have Councillor Eleanor Rolston, Councillor Walter Tingley, and Councillor Michael Perry. So councillors, if you could put down the name of the person who you wish to see as warden. Oh, sorry. That's right. So we're going to go, each council will now have 5 minutes to say some words to their fellow councillors. And I'm going to go in alphabetical order, so I'm going to start with Councillor Michael Perry. Sit down, please.
Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, fellow council members, residents.
Oh, just 1 second. Just a second. I'm not a very good chair.
There we go. Ladies and gentlemen, fellow councilors, fellow council members and residents of East Hants. It's an honor to stand here before you today and humbled by the opportunity to represent you and our community as your warden. I have lived, worked, and are raising my family here in East Hants. And like many of you, I deeply value the unique spirit of collaboration and togetherness that defines our region. We face a critical moment where leadership and willingness to listen to matters is what the voice of East Hants will need to be. I am committed to be that voice, and with your help, lead East Hants into a future that preserves our community character while building growth and opportunity for all in East Hants. Why I'm asking for your support: I have been an active participant in the community for many years before arriving on council, and since then it has only expanded, working alongside residents, local businesses, organizations, and my fellow council members to improve the lives and opportunities for the residents of East Hants. This being my third term on council and having been deputy warden on 2 occasions, one during each term that I have served, I feel the next step for myself would be offered to be warden. We will need to look for a vision for growth and sustainability. Our region is growing, but it can't come at the expense of our natural environment and community values. I believe together we can work to achieve this balance the best way we can without losing what makes East Hants special to all of us. I believe in community first. I believe that the strength of East Hants lies in its people. If elected warden, I will focus on engaging with residents from all parts of the municipality to ensure I understand their voices and take your counsel to ensure the voice of the people is presented to higher levels of government in a clear and concise manner, building those bridges to ensure greater cooperation and prosperity for all residents of East Hants. We are going to be faced with some tough problems during this term, whether it be improving local services or our level of service standards, to addressing housing concerns and enhancing and sustaining recreational facilities throughout the municipality. I will try my best to ensure we focus on result-driven solutions that are transparent and accountable and in the best interest to the taxpayers of East Hants. I believe that any of the 11 of us here today elected could serve the role as warden. I just believe that I can offer a voice, one that has a balance of experience having been in the area, that has a fast developing commercial and residential push along with some very rural areas. Again, it would be my honor to serve you as your warden, and I thank you for taking the time to listen to me and consider me as one of your choices. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Perry. Next to speak will be Councillor Eleanor Rolston.
Good evening, everyone. As I sit here tonight, I find myself reflecting on the last 27 years and how quickly they have passed. I have been so fortunate to have worked with so many wonderful people over this time. I have learned from each and every term I have served and from each and every one I have served with. Thank you for the nomination to run for warden for another 4-year term. It was an honor and a privilege to be elected last time, and I have truly appreciated the trust that was placed in me. It has been a busy and challenging 4 years, with lots still to come. I have done my best to fill the position with honesty, integrity, and always with a deep appreciation for the opportunity. As we look around the globe, there are many places where people do not have any opportunity to vote for any representation in government. We take this right for granted, and as a woman, I am proud and grateful to live in a country that allows me and all others to fully participate in our democratic system. I continue to believe that the citizens of East Hants are its greatest asset. I also believe that although there are certainly differences among our 11 districts, that at the end of the day, we all have more in common than many realize. I would like to continue to build and foster relationships and build on the strengths of all areas of our municipality. We all bring value to the organization. I have a deep respect for every councillor who has stepped forward to represent every district in our municipality. Public office of any kind can be challenging in today's world, and every one of us who has risen to this challenge has done so out of love for our communities and a desire to make them the best they can be. I respectfully ask for your support to be re-elected as warden and to continue to build bridges and understanding, both within East Hants and with other municipalities throughout our province, region, and country. I truly believe that we are all stronger together. Thank you for the opportunity to speak and ask for your support. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Rolston. Councillor Walter Tingley.
Thank you. I've only have positive things to say about Eleanor and Mike. They both made a good, compelling reason why they should be warden. All I think I can do is provide some factual information about myself and let you make your decision. My professional certification is I am a certified insurance professional through the Insurance Institute of Canada, which is the premier provider of insurance education and career development in Canada. I have a number of other certifications to do with insurance and business, mostly dealing with investigating, evaluating, and negotiating. One example would be I have some odd training as well. Like one of the certificates I have is an advanced arson investigative techniques from the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, Firearms National Academy Training Center in Glencoe, Georgia. I was director 10 years and president 2 years for the Insurance Institute of Nova Scotia, which is the provincial chapter of the Institute of Canada. My career in insurance was I was a claims manager for international insurers and independent adjusting firms. I started my career young. I got married young. By age 22, I was a supervisor in Halifax. At 25, I was transferred to Ottawa as branch manager, and at 28, transferred back to Halifax as Atlantic Regional Claims Manager. I'm also a global technical service adjuster retained by corporations, governments, risk managers, insurers, law firms to investigate and evaluate, negotiate, and settle claims, including professional liability claims for engineers, architects, environmental contractors, and surveyors, catastrophic losses, environmental losses, provincial disaster financial assistance program, a number of other type of claims. Basically, I have 40 years plus experience in planning, organizing, staffing, directing, reporting, and budgeting for multiple offices in Ontario and Nova Scotia. My skills would be investigative interviewing, evaluating, documenting, reporting, and negotiating. In the insurance, I was also involved with my professional associations, with the Canadian Independent Adjusting Association. I was the liaison between that association and the EMO and DFA claims for the province of Nova Scotia. I've got one term as councillor, served as vice chair on 2 committees, was on the board, was a board member for East Hants Arena Association, and in previous years I was on that board when it was operated by the community as a director for 10 years and president for 2 years. I'm currently chair of the Nova Scotia Federation of Municipalities Group Insurance Oversight Committee. And I've attended all the NSFM and FCM conferences, the presentations at these conferences, and the networking that's offered through other councillors is a very valuable education. I've made a good effort to try to understand how council works and government works. I've read the MGA from cover to cover, the council procedure policy, municipal planning strategy. Don't have it all memorized, but I have a lot of it to memory, and what I don't, I can find fairly quickly. What you could expect from me as a warden would be good governance, a public servant. I think of myself as a servant. I would listen more than speak. I have utmost respect for all the councillors here and staff. I think I have the skills to conduct meetings within the rules of the procedural policy and Robert's rules. I would be neutral as a warden when I'm chairing meetings. I think I have the skill to respond to challenging situations that the municipality will be faced in the coming years, and with the direction of the CAO and the council. And I try to provide swift, accurate, friendly service. That's about it. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Tingley. So councillors, your 3 nominees for warden have given you their 5-minute speeches. So the process from here is you do have a piece of paper on your desk. You will write down the name of one of the 3 candidates who you would like to see serve as warden. If a majority is not achieved in this first vote, then the person with the least amount of votes will be dropped and you'll be asked to vote again. So I'll give you all a few minutes or a few seconds to write down your name for warden. When you're ready, just indicate to staff. Our scrutineers will come around and pick up your ballots. We'll give our scrutineers a few minutes. So councillors, we do not have a majority on the first vote. So we will be looking to have a vote for either Councillor Michael Perry or Councillor Eleanor Rolston for your second vote. You'll be given different color sheets of paper. And again, we ask that you put on the sheet of paper the person who you would like to see serve for warden out of Councillor Eleanor Rolston or Councillor Michael Perry. I should note, oh no. At this point in time, as clerk for the municipality, I would like to congratulate Councillor Eleanor Rolston as our next warden for the municipality of East Hants. At this point in time, councillors, I would like a motion to have all ballots related to the election destroyed in the presence of council. It's been moved and seconded. All those in favor? Opposed? Motion is carried. I will now gladly turn the chair over to Warden Eleanor Rolston.
Thank you, Kim, and thank you, council. There would have been, there are any of the candidates, not just myself, but Councillor Perry or Councillor Tingley would have served the municipality well as warden. And I just want to accept my gratitude to council for allowing me the opportunity to serve another 4-year term, and I will do my very best to live up to your expectations and do a good job. So thank you very much. The next item on our agenda is the election of deputy warden. The term of deputy warden is a 1-year term, and we elect a deputy warden every year. The procedure is the same manner as the election for warden. So I would now open the floor for nominations for deputy warden. Councillor Perry.
I would like to nominate Counselor Carl McPhee.
Do we have a seconder? Seconded. You accept the nomination, Councillor? Are there any further nominations for deputy warden? Are there any further nominations? Oh, I'm going to say the mics are not working. So if your mic does not work, just wave your hand and wave at me. Councillor Tingley.
I'll nominate Councillor Garden Cole.
Do we have a seconder? Second. Moved and seconded. Councillor Garden Cole, do you accept the nomination?
I'm going to refuse it just because I feel like my work would not permit me to do an effective job. So thank you, but no, I am going to decline.
Are there any further nominations? Are there any further nominations? Councillor Tingley? No. Are there any further nominations? Seeing none, would someone like to move that nominations cease? Moved and seconded. All those in favor? Contrary? Motion is carried. Deputy Warden McPhee, congratulations. You may move to the chair. And I'll give you the opportunity if you would like to make a few comments.
Well, thank you, fellow councilors, for electing me as deputy warden. I hadn't planned to take this position, but be happy to give it a try. And I know it's very important from watching the 2 deputies before me. I hope I can do a good job, at least as good a job as they did. And I know I'll need a little support at first, so thank you very much.
Thank you. The next item on our agenda is the selection of a nominating committee. The nominating committee shall consist of the warden as chair and the deputy warden as vice chair, plus 3 members of council as appointed by motion of council at this meeting. Membership shall be held for the term of council per the council procedural policy. Councilors interested in serving on committees or boards should notify any member of the nominating committee. Do we have volunteers to serve on the nominating committee? Councillor Mitchell? Councillor Perry? And Councillor Garden Cole? That is 3 volunteers. Does any other member of council wish to serve on the nominating committee? If so, we will have an election, and if not, we will. Is someone prepared to move those 3 councilors form the nominating committee with myself and Deputy Warden McPhee? Councillor Tingley.
I'll move that those 3 be on the nominating committee with you.
Do we have a seconder? Seconded by Councillor Head. All those in favor? Aye. I'm sorry, should we be recording these votes on the system, or are these okay as aye votes? These are fine? Okay, thank you. Okay, moving along. We will be looking for a motion confirming the meeting schedule for all meetings of the Executive Committee and Council for November and December 2024. What is your wish, councilors? Who moved? It moved by Councilor Musa, seconded by Councilor Tingley. All those in favor? Aye. Contrary, motion is carried. So the dates included in that motion are as shown on the screen, councilors. There are two time-sensitive issues, short issues, I believe, that have been put on the agenda this evening for the simple reason they are very time-sensitive and a decision is needed to be made quite quickly. The first item is around a letter of support for the Lance Recreation Society. And the CAO is going to. Okay.
Thank you, Madam Warden. So, councilors, in front of you this evening, there is a request from the from MP Blois with respect to the Lance Recreation Society. He has approached the municipality with an opportunity to get some potential federal funding, and this would be for the Lance Recreation Society site in Lance. This property has been identified as one of our strategic assets for the municipality as a potential regional property for recreation. The expansion of this site would serve the community well. It would serve the region well. And MP Blois is looking for a letter of support to send to the Minister, Chrystia Freeland, looking for a federal contribution for this site for the fall economic update. So should council wish to support this request, it by no means commits you to doing anything. There is open space money in that region for this type of project. As well, we have land adjacent to this land that could be donated in kind to this project. And at the staff level, we would be prepared to prioritize this and provide support in project management of a project of this magnitude. I think the municipality would have to support it in some way to support the volunteer base there. So should council wish to support this request, there is a motion on the screen basically to write a letter of support for the Lance Recreation Society expansion project, indicating that East Hants will work with the society on development of the strategic recreation asset for the region and a related operating model, and that the municipality does have open space funds and land in kind to donate to the project should senior level government funding be awarded to expand the site. I believe the ask has been for several $1 million from the federal government. So I think the municipality's support of this project would be key in securing that funding if it was available. And I believe that this letter would go a long way in helping that become a reality if that's something that MP Blois can make happen. Thank you, Madam Warden.
Thank you, Kim. First up to speak, I have Councilor Tingley.
Through the chair, I just seen this when everybody else just seen it today. And the choice is either to support it or not support it. It seems like a good thing to try to do. It's not binding us to anything, so I'm going to make a motion to write a letter in support of this.
Seconded by Councilor Garden Cole. Discussion on the motion. Councilor Dixon.
Just to clarify this through the chair, this Peter Smith field and the field behind that? Okay, thank you.
Is there any further discussion on the motion?
Question.
Question's been called. Oh, Councilor Mitchell.
Yeah, just a quick question through you to staff. How much open space land is adjacent to that project? Any idea? Just a ballpark?
I don't know the exact amount. It's not a large piece of land, but it sort of rounds out the
The parcel?
corner. Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Any further questions? So the question was called, we'll go to the vote. And the motion is passed unanimously. And returning to our agenda, we need to select the delegation for the 2024 NSFM Fall Conference, which will be held November 26th to 29th at the Westin Nova Scotian Hotel. The early bird registration deadline is the 1st of November, so we really should make our selection prior to that. So, normally we would send the warden, CAO, and 3 counselors. So, and details are on the conference website. The warden, CAO, and 3 counselors. I would ask Counselor Tingley.
Through the chair, I'd love to go if there's an opportunity to go, but I've gone a few other times before. These conferences, the presentations are good. The information you gather through working with other counselors and staff is an excellent education. So if I can go, I'd like to go, but if there's others that want to go that didn't have an opportunity, then obviously that would happen first.
So what I will do is ask, by a show of hands, counselors that would be interested in attending this conference. Counselor McPhee, Counselor Mitchell, Counselor Tingley. Anyone else interested in attending? Twice. Anyone else have an interest in attending? Third and last time, folks. As Counselor Tingley indicated, I do believe there's value in these conferences. It's great to network with other municipalities, and it's often quite surprising how many of the same issues we face, and it's great to get some information on how others have dealt and handled certain things. So we have Counselor Tingley, Counselor Mitchell, and Counselor McPhee, or Deputy Warden McPhee. You'll have to keep me reminded. So if someone would like to make a motion that myself, the CAO, and these 3 counselors be authorized to attend NSFM, that would be appropriate. Moved by Counselor Dixon, seconded by Counselor Perry. You ready for the question?
Question.
And the motion is passed unanimously. Returning to our agenda, the training opportunity for financial management for elected officials put on by AMANS. I'll let the details come up. So the dates are January 7th, 9th, and 14th from 6 to 7:30 p.m. This is a virtual skills-based module. The cost and registration, early bird is $300 and the regular is $375. This decision doesn't have to be made before December the 24th, correct? So if anyone knows they have an interest now, that's great, but if not, I would ask counselors to take this away and look at it, and perhaps when we come to November council, counselors could let us know then any who are interested in attending. Is that agreeable to everyone?
Yes.
Thank you. So moving along. We need ratification approval for counselors who have expressed interest in attending the orientation sessions hosted by the province on November 4th and 5th at the Halifax Convention Center. Counselors Dixon, Merriam, Tingley, and Deputy Warden McPhee have expressed interest. So I would ask if someone would make a motion to officially ratify their attendance to this training. CAO was asked to speak first, okay. Go ahead.
I didn't realize my microphone was on.
Oh, okay, we will take the CAO off. Counselor Mitchell,
Yes, I'd like council to ratify the approval for those attending council orientation session hosted by the province, November 4th and 5th, 2024, at the Halifax Convention Center for councilors Dixon, Merriman, Tingley, and McPhee, and Deputy Warden McPhee.
do we have a seconder? Seconded by Counselor Head. Any discussion on the motion? Question's been called, we'll go to the vote. And the motion is passed unanimously.
Question? Is there any difference between this one and the one on January? Are they the same?
They are different, I believe, CAO.
Okay.
So counselors, the training opportunity in January is a set modules to train elected officials on financial management. So it's something that was created by a facilitator, and it's facilitated by usually by CAOs who are also accountants who teach that course. The 2-day orientation session that the province puts on is really an overall everything to do with municipal government. So it's municipal government A to Z, and some of what you'll get in your council orientation tomorrow and the next day. Tomorrow is mostly focused on municipal staff giving councilors orientation. And then the Friday, I would encourage any of you who can come to that. We'll have Jason Hahn here, who's our municipal advisor, and he's going to do more parliamentary things that you won't necessarily get at the orientation session in Halifax either. So I would encourage anyone who can attend Friday morning and into the afternoon to try and do so. But they are all different and you'll get something different from each of them.
Okay, that concludes the business of our agenda tonight. I would be looking for a motion to adjourn, but I would ask councillors just to, after we adjourn, if you would just hold back for a few minutes to give the CAO an idea of how many people might be planning to attend the orientation sessions here tomorrow and Friday, so that they know about ordering lunch and those things. So I would be looking for a motion to adjourn. Moved by Councillor Hebb, seconded by Councillor Dixon. All those in favor? Contrary? Motion is carried. We are adjourned. As always, we will give staff time to close the